from Bank of America, one of the big three banks, and moved to local banks and credit unions that can be more easily held accountable and are more likely to invest in our local communities. With all the Keep Austin weird and Keep Austin local rhetoric that gets tossed around casually in these chambers, we figured that was a no-brainer. 3 months ago, the city passed that resolution. We're thankful for the nod, but we're soon to realize it was largely symbolic. A little over a month ago, the city chose to put our money instead into Chase Bank. We were told smaller banks and credit unions were too risky, that they couldn't comply with the guidelines set forth by the city, that they weren't equipped to handle our money, that they didn't provide the kind of security and service that the big three banks could. Well, council members, how do you like Chase now? 2 weeks ago, JP Morgan Chase made a bad bet and lost $2 billion in one day. The total losses on that bad bet have since grown to $7 billion, with some estimates bringing the total hit to the bank to $20 billion due to dropping stock prices. Is that really where you want to put our money? Once again, I find myself ashamed of the bad choices this body has made or has allowed to be made by Mark Ott, our unelected city manager. You've handed over the hard-earned money of the city's residents to the biggest gambling operation in the world. Now, I'm not an economics professor like the missing Mr. Spellman or anything, but that sounds kind of risky to me. So to put that loss into perspective, since it's such a large number and it's hard to kind of grasp, here are some things that $7 billion could buy. Enough food to feed 822,271 families of 4 for a full year. 10 times the city's general fund. About 100, I think, deals with Apple. I just figured in my head. 350,000 power wheelchairs. 39,000 foreclosed homes. The sales of 160,000, the salaries of 160,230 high school teachers. 368 years of JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon's $19 million salary. That doesn't include his $4 million annual bonus. The annual salary of 318,181 Chase Bank tellers who are only paid on average $22,000 a year. Not a living wage, in my opinion. 201 miles of high-speed rail. In-home care for a year for 500,000 elderly and or people with disabilities. 10,294 miles of bus transit. 1 million kilowatts of solar energy. Affordable housing for 47,000 families. Birth control for 2,333,333 women, or 23 days of the war in Afghanistan. And finally, 65,385 budgets of campaign for Leave Leffingwell, or 440,528 for Bill Spellman versus 14 million anarchists who paid $500 and had no budget and got 6% of the vote.
Yeah.
Catherine Bleach.